Hey YouTube, what's going on? Your boy is back with another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. With us getting back in the swing of YouTube, I feel like it'd be a good time for me to do a video I haven't done before, and as well for you guys to, maybe learn more about me. So today we're going to be doing a Q&A. Maybe you guys can learn more about me. I asked for you guys to send me some questions on Twitter. Check my bio underneath, and my Twitter should be there. Make sure to follow in case I do one of these in the future, and just follow to be a homie, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so today I picked up some questions on my left monitor. I'm gonna read through them. They're gonna range from anything from just normal questions all the way to Rocket League, anywhere in between. And hopefully you guys can learn more about me and just, we can connect more. So as we create this YouTube journey, you guys will be able to, we'll just have a better connection, I guess, because I feel like it's always important for a content creator and his fan base to, be able to relate on some stuff or just know stuff about the person. Anyways, let's get into the first question. Right at the rip, we got a Gallic. What's your favorite movie / show? Now, I'll do one of each. Now, I went into a huge phase with movies, as well as TV shows, but more so movies. So movies for me, there's a lot that are great movies. Parasite, Interstellar, Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather, 1 or 2. But for me, it's got to be Shawshank Redemption. That movie, when I first saw it, it was like unreal how good it was. And I just every time I watch it, I could rewatch it 10 times. I feel like every time you could notice something different that'd be better than the next, and just the overall story and the acting, everything about it is just As far as TV show, this is tough because how do you really rank dramas or sitcoms, stuff like that. So It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a great sitcom. It's my favorite. But you can't go wrong putting number one as Breaking Bad. It's just an all-time classic. It deserves to be there. Walter White. But yeah, definitely my number one's probably gonna go to Breaking Bad. Let's go to the next question. And my next question from Fancy Fragment: what are your favorite type of shoes? Now, to be honest, if you guys didn't know, I've talked about it on my streams before, but I used to be a pretty big sneakerhead. When I was around 18, 19, maybe a little bit younger as well, super into it, knew every sneaker that was coming out, would try and not get a lot, but definitely buy more sneakers. I'm not really that way anymore. I still love sneakers. Not love, but I still like them. I see what's coming out here and there. Don't really buy it all, but I do have a collection that I'm pretty proud of, I guess. But my favorite one, man, that's tough because there's some cool New Balances out right now, other stuff. But for sure, I think the Nike Dunks are something. They've been trendy for a while, and just there's so many OG ones that are so sick, and some new ones that look crazy as well. So definitely my top. I'll go with the top 3. Nike Dunks. I'd probably go with Comfort. I'd probably go with NMDs or Ultra Boost, whichever you prefer. And I feel like the Jordan 1's got to be in everyone's top 3. So that's definitely my top 3 sneakers for sure. Getting into a Rocket League related question, we got a question from Stixie. What people do you want to team up with someday? Obviously, I would love to be with my team forever in a perfect world, right? But that just doesn't happen. G2 and whatnot. So in this case, let's just envision that the question is proposed. I'd for sure definitely want to team up with Garrett one day, because I feel like me and Garrett both have pretty similar mindsets, and we talk a good amount, and we both get along. I think we'd both enjoy playing with each other. And I think it would just be fun, because I think we both want it, and we'd both want to get better, so it wouldn't just be, just being complacent and just going about our day, or going about each tournament if we're not doing too well. So definitely Garrett, and then the next player would probably be, that's tough, because there's a bunch of different players, but I definitely think I'd want to play with maybe a first killer. Obviously I can think of some more, but the way I've always liked the way First Killer plays, because he plays very he's obviously one of the quote unquote superstars in the game, but the way he plays is very not like a lot of the others where it's super slow and air dribble heavy. He likes to play with pace. He'll pass the ball a lot. He'll get physical, which a lot of other players in that superstar realm won't do. So because of that, I've always enjoyed watching First Killer or playing against him. So yeah, probably go with that for my 2 other players. Next RLCS question, here we go. Reddles D. Let's not talk about that. Ooh, nice shot. I see you. What is the biggest factor to having a long RLCS career? Honestly, it's nothing really too complicated, except other than motivation, and I'd probably say being able to take criticism, because a lot of players, I think, are so young that they struggle with taking criticism. Like, obviously no one wants to be wrong or admit to a mistake, so a lot of players struggle with that. But if you're able to take criticism, you're able to adapt to metas, see what you're doing wrong and fix it, and also become better on top of it. So obviously you got to be able to take criticism, get better, see what you're doing wrong, see what the meta is, and adapt. That's the basic stuff, right? But you also got to, you know, have the motivation. You got to want to do it. If you're not enjoying it, there's no point playing to do it. Like, in my opinion, I just think if you don't enjoy it, there's no reason to waste energy, stress, time on something you don't want to do when you could be finding that next passion or whatever that next step is in life. So for me, I still enjoy it very much, or else I wouldn't be playing. I'm just gonna be straight up honest about that. And I feel like that's the way some players perceive it, not all of them, but I very much enjoy it. I very much want to win. Obviously that Worlds is a crazy amount of pride, but yeah, it's just the boils down to those two simple things, but obviously they can be broken down even further. And yeah, I still got the motivation, so that's all that matters for me. Next question: what were some of the sacrifices you made while becoming a professional gamer? Now, there's a lot when it comes to Rocket League, because it is, or any game, and I shouldn't just say Rocket League, but when you play Rocket League, obviously the main one is the game's very young. So school, I did, you know, take a gap year, which obviously became a full-time thing for Rocket League. So I was gonna go to school. Don't know what I was gonna study, but I feel like that's not really uncommon between like 18-year-old freshmen. And sorry for my phone light, but yeah, I was gonna, you know, go to school. Don't know what I was gonna do, but for sure school was gonna be a part of my life, or college, furthering my education. But the main thing I would say is the way Rocket League works is, being from the West Coast, is you don't have West Coast servers. Don't know why it's a thing. I've begged for it to be a thing for 5-6 years. Never really got an answer on it, even though it's possible. There's no central servers in Rocket League, right? Everything is played on East servers. So I had to make, not a decision, but I felt like it was best for my career to move out and go to East Coast so I could get, you know, the best ping possible. Because like, at the end of the day, it's like career, and I don't want to just flush it down the drain because I'm too stubborn to move out. So, you know, not too stubborn, but I should say, like, I just wanted to take the opportunity, and G2 helped us present it. Because it's like moving out, you know, if I still lived on the East Coast, I wouldn't be moving out. But unfortunately, I didn't. So G2 was awesome about it, and we obviously, as a lot of people know, had a team house lined up. So I had the team house for 2 years, away from family, since I've been like almost a little over 18 ever since. Kind of sucks. Obviously love going back, but for the past like 2 years, no, past year, a little over, I've been living by myself. Not living by myself, but have an apartment, don't have a team house anymore. And it still sucks because I wish I could just be back on West Coast and being able to play RLCS, but it's not the case with Sonics, unfortunately. So yeah. What is my proudest achievement in Rocket League? From Oblivious Birds. Yeah, so I think this is going to be pretty obvious. It's going to be my, you know, major win in Los Angeles last season, the Winter Major. It's every player's dream to be able to win an RLCS LAN. Any LAN in general, but RLCS LANs, that's something different. And then obviously Worlds is a little bit above a major, but major's still right there. So yeah, it's so much work, years and years and hours, days of practice, not arguments, but like talking with your team, like figuring out what's best, you know, going through the stress of making roster moves, like getting Atomic, all the hard work, it just pays off in that moment. And like everything you've worked for was for that opportunity, and being able to get it done and get like, not a trophy, but sorry for my phone once again, not a trophy, but we got I guess you call it a trophy in this case. Everything to like lift that trophy is honestly just something you can't even like, you don't even feel it in the moment. Like, I can't even remember what it feels like, but I just know I'll remember the moment forever because it's just absolutely absurd. What was the hardest moment in your career? How often have you wanted to give up? JKnaps, thank you for the question. Good question. The hardest moment in my career was definitely Season 8. It was when a lot of the new pro players entered the scene, Gyro, Reddles, Arsenal, you know, players like that. And we just came off a Season 7 finals, second place at Worlds. So we thought we could be in cruise control, and little did we know we got slapped that season. Went to the promo relegation, and in my mind, if you get relegated to RLCS at that time, it's almost like a career killer. It's like, hang it up, you're done for. So yeah, that moment was super hard. We boot camped for that event, and thankfully we made it out. JKnaps went crazy, but it was super tough. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of the biggest mental battles of all time. Like thinking, are you still good enough? Can you still do this? Like, what happened? Where did it all go wrong? And then in terms of like how often have you wanted to give up, I never really wanted to give up. Obviously, there's times where you get a little frustrated, but I think if you think about giving up, that definitely means retirement's on the loom. And there's definitely times where I think that, but not for the long enough period where I consider it. But to say Rocket League as a job isn't mentally taxing, it's a lie, to be honest, because it's a very fun job. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, but it's as mentally taxing as a lot of other things. As fun as it is not easy to do. It's not, and it's not just a walk in the park. It does get tough sometimes, but I wouldn't trade the job for anything in the world. Trying to get on YouTube, trying to do whatever I can to share the joy, make this a career as long as possible, and just most of all, just create a community that I'm proud of. Next question is from Bam Deadstroke. Dream Worlds location. Now, if we were gonna go for something I would just want to go for, it might not be realistic. I'd definitely go for somewhere in Italy, maybe like Venice. Don't even know if it's possible, but let's say if we're going for a realistic one, I would definitely have to say somewhere in France or Japan. Maybe Japan's not too realistic, but a Paris or somewhere in France, LAN would go crazy. Because that way you can take a little time off after, maybe go take a little vacation, something like that. It would be good fun, I think there's obviously a huge French community in Rocket League. I think it's gonna happen eventually, and I'm there for it. Hopefully I'd make it. It'd be dope for sure. Next question comes from A18Ks. Throughout your career, what player/team did you get impressed by that actually went on to be a top player? Now this is actually a funny story because this was DreamHack Leipzig, the second one. I think this is my second LAN with G2, and we're playing against a player named Astral that I'd never heard of, and he's like almost 1v3ing us, honestly, and I've never heard of this player. The things he's doing is like, it feels very EU Justin like. I'm like, that's obviously at that time that's like, whoa, what's going on? So in my head I was like, dude, this kid's crazy. Who is this kid? And little did we know, eventually later Astral became the player he was. Very successful, super skilled, one of the highest peaks in the game. But yeah, Astral was probably that player that comes to the top of my mind. I think that player impressed me like right off the rip. Next question is from Brizane, and will you bring back the Analyzing Pro series? I definitely will if you have not been tapped in already. I have started reviewing some players and some teams. It will keep going on. I just don't want to, spam you guys with those videos because it'll get very dry and you'll have nothing to really look forward to. All the hype will be gone. So I am going to bring those back, but I'm definitely not going to try and post like more than 1 or 2 every week. But I think you guys will enjoy them. And if you guys are seeing this and you're wondering where those are, they're on the channel, so you got to go find them somewhere. So my final question from the Pulse Bop Pops. What are your favorite things about teaming with JKnaps and Atomic? Save the best for last. And to be honest, I think it's more just like the fact that we're not just a team that's just business. It's more like I'm gonna say a unit. Like we all want to do as good as we can for each other. Now we have down times, trust me. No team doesn't, and especially for us, I think ours have been pretty recently. But I think lately we've been on a good track, and we really want to do like and try and be as good as we can for each other. So we do criticize each other. We do put an effort when it matters. When we put our head down, like we do everything because we want to see each other succeed, and as well as just we know we can succeed with each other. So it all comes with hard work and dedication and effort. So I really do think like besides their skill, it's just they're able, like we can, have fun when we need to, crack jokes whenever, like just be friends, but we can also, be real with each other. And if someone's screwing up or someone needs to be better or help we're not going to take it personally because we know that we just want to help. But besides that, there's such good people, good families, it's always fun to hang out with them. Even if we don't do well at a LAN, like we still like each other. We're not just gonna go back to our hotel rooms the entire time and just not talk to each other. So that's always a bonus. And yeah, I've been super blessed to have great teammates like I have with Rizzo, you know, Drees, Atomic now. So yeah, great squad. I've gotten very lucky.